Hi ratepayers, it's your local government councillor Tyson Matthews here, and I thought I'd do something a little bit interesting today. I had a bit of inspiration, I suppose, from watching a couple of people in the fitness industry doing their YouTube videos, and I thought, well, some people can't be bothered reading an entire agenda, which, to be honest, I don't blame you. So I thought I'd try and bring some of tonight's council meeting issues in a bit more of a social media way, so that you can have a listen. If there's anything in there that piques your interest, perhaps grab a hard copy of the agenda and read into it a little bit more. But tonight's agenda pretty short, and I do apologise. Obviously, I'm in my business doing this, part and parcel of it, but if you feel like buying anything, please do. Tonight, it's a pretty short agenda, 326 pages, but sometimes these can be the ones where we find ourselves having to extend the meeting for half an hour at 10:30 at night, but hopefully everyone is pretty comfortable with what's in the agenda and we're able to get it moving. So we usually start the proceedings with motions on notice, and we've got three tonight. Councillor Boltonsperger firstly wants to investigate whether or not it's worth getting providing Wi-Fi in Bridge Street. So we'll have to have a look at uptake rates, best way to do it in regards to data, how long people can log on for, how important it's going to be for business, those sorts of things. And obviously as well, preparing a report like this takes administration time and effort, so we need to be comfortable that this is something that people are going to uptake. I'm not allowed to make any decision before I get into the chamber, but I can tell you that I think it's something worth investigating. Another motion put forward by Andrew, that he'd like to investigate getting an electric vehicle charging station. Clearly becoming more and more popular, electric vehicles, and we don't have one in town at the moment. Some councils in some of the larger areas have put one in. There's an interesting report there. Again, I think it's something worth having a look at. We're also trying to have a look at putting our local government centre on fully renewable energy as well, and we've got a new report out regarding our response to climate change, so something worth having a look at. And Councillor Jerry Wilson, very, very passionate about holding a motor event in Murray Bridge. I know we used to have AutoFest and there were some issues around having that. It was a very popular event, and so Jerry's pushing to try and get something similar. So he wants to negotiate with Spring Nats to possibly have something at the Murray Bridge Showgrounds. Issue being that they are still technically public roads, and the local police here are not particularly enthusiastic about having that sort of event on public roads, which you can understand. There is a perception that Murray Bridge does have some hoon driving issues, not by a white Camaro at all. So then it gets broken into different division reports. So we've got Corporate Services Division report, which basically is the financials of council. And we've got an annual business plan progress report. I draw your attention to that because the annual business plan basically is the way that we match what we're going to do for the community to what the community has asked us to do. You know, priorities for the upcoming year, those sorts of things. So I recommend people have a look at that document. And then we move into a financial performance report. So we get one of these every quarter, and it looks good. As for the last 12 to 18 months, our CEO, he's a finance guy. So he does a very, very good job at managing the finances. There are some fluctuations that happens whether or not project has been delayed, so therefore that's going to affect how that gets reported in the budget. But the reality is we're looking good to deliver a surplus. Some people would argue that why would you want a surplus? You should just be breaking even, but we need surpluses to be able to do the projects around town that people want. So if you want Sturt Reserve to look good, we're going to need money to make Sturt Reserve look good. But have a look, cast your eyes over it if you're that way inclined. Then we have a look at consultant expenditure, and I understand that this is something that people were very, very interested in. It's down 200,000, so around 25-30%, which is good. still spending around $450,000 a year on consultants at council. Consultants, unfortunately, are a part of life to a degree in local government, and of course I would like to see consultants down. It really comes down to how many projects you have going at once and whether or not you have the internal capacity to do those projects. Many of them require liaising with SA Water or with Department of Transport, Roads, etc. So it's an improvement. If anyone would like some more information on consultants, more than welcome to Facebook message me. And Councillor Eckerman would also has brought up a while ago about whether or not we record council meetings. My view is that it's potentially going to cost a lot of money and there might not be a lot of uptake. Personally, I'm going to see how this goes. If this is something people are interested in, well, I'll do a video every week. Well, not every week, but every time we get a council meeting on. So then we move into infrastructure reports. Those of you who have had issues with little corellas, so they're those birds that have been causing some significant damage. Unfortunately, no love out of the report from state government about how best we handle that. Council was obviously pretty reluctant to do any culling for obvious reasons. When we tried to cat management, a lot of people come out swinging about how we were looking to kill cats, those sorts of things. It's an emotive issue and I understand that. So a couple of councils have put in some corella management programs and frankly had not a lot of success or mixed results. So we're going to wait for the full report to come out. I know that doesn't help those who are suffering the issue, but we have a responsibility to make sure that we tick off every box before we look at doing something as serious as culling animals, particularly if the outcome isn't what we want it to be. And then we've got sustainable communities reports, and that covers things like planning. The key one I'll note out of this is we've got a Monarto master plan update. This is a very big issue for those that live in Monarto and something that I think most councillors will understand is a pretty emotive issue. There is going to be what they call a soft touch consultation. So it's not going to be a long consultation process, but I highly recommend anyone who lives out at Monarto or is passionate about Monarto and has issues with any development going out there, that they read the report in the council agenda and make sure they have their opportunity to have their say, and they'll get, you know, an opportunity to really put forward what they think about these plans. We're trying to be a lot more open, a lot more consultative, so hopefully that's the outcome. And that's about it. So if anyone wants to see any other aspect of council meetings on here, or if they don't want to see this at all, don't watch the video. Yeah. But it's a good way for me to get my head around the issues a little bit more, give you guys an opportunity to not have to read the entire agenda and just listen to or search what you want. And yeah, it's new, it's exciting. Thank you.